Labus TV, labor and business television, where we bring new perspective to every story. We promote awareness on events in various sectors of the economy in Nigeria, Africa, and around the world. We celebrate global leaders and personalities that have risen against all odds, making tremendous strides in countless industries. With innovative, unbiased, cutting-edge stories and global events just for you. Don't miss our exclusive interviews with world leaders and entrepreneurs as they share their inspiring stories with the world. And be sure to catch our Labor Roundtable, highlighting views on labor issues. Be sure to also grab your Global Labor Events and Business Magazine, a magazine you must have. So join us here on Labus TV. This is where great conversations begin.
Hi, and good morning, and welcome to Labus TV. My name is Shirley Murphy, and this morning, with an estimated number of about 1.7 viewers across the world, you wouldn't want to miss this show. We will be streaming live from Les Brown's field. Now, the George Floyd Jr. Remembering the Legacy event is here. The George Floyd Jr.'s historical weekend of enlightenment is to celebrate the historical event where we are honored to partner with the family of George Floyd and to live stream this event on our channel. George Floyd Memorial Center first annual fundraising event is taking place in Raleigh, North Carolina. Now, during the last 2 years since the tragic killing of George Perry Floyd Jr., his family in his birth state of North Carolina has been organizing and doing the thoughtful groundwork to establish a physical center to honor his life and legacy. The George Floyd Memorial Center, GFMC. Now, the goal of the George Floyd Memorial Center Weekend of Enlightenment event was planned to be in person, but the organization decided to shift everything online except for the charity golf tournament, which will take place in person at Lakemoor Golf Club in Cary, North Carolina. The event is planned as follows. On the 25th of May 2022, the Day of Enlightenment, which is going to be a virtual town hall, and the time will be 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. It's going to be a free event. On the 27th of May as well, we'll be having charity golf tournament at Lakemoor Golf Club in Cary, North Carolina as well, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. And the ticket for that is going to be $150. And of course, we're going to have on the 28th of May, the Weekend of Enlightenment Conference, which will feature wealth, health, and education supported by social justice. And the time for that event will be 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. So if you want to register, you can go right to www.georgefloydmc.org for the free or virtual town hall conference. Now, the funds raised through the support of attendees, sponsors, and donors will be used towards staffing, programming, and to build the center, and beginning the far-reaching programming for the community, and eventually the nation, and of course the world. The mission of the George Floyd Memorial Center is to generate a 21st century job opportunities by promoting quality education for basically primary and secondary, pursuing justice within the legal system, and encouraging political engagement, resulting in healthy, socially inclusive, and thriving community through its programming. But then again, I want to encourage you, you can visit the website www.georgefloyddmc.org for more information. Now, just like I mentioned earlier, with an estimated number of viewers, about 1.7 viewers, the renowned motivational speaker, Liz Brown, is on this. And of course, we have my dear sister, the global transformation strategist, Dr. Lourdes Richard, the balance doctor, Kim Jacobs, where we are joining forces together on this event. And we'll be interviewing the amazing people behind the George Floyd Weekend of Enlightenment. The George Floyd Weekend of Enlightenment extends, all through to the weekend, and of course, the dates that I mentioned earlier. To support this historical affair, the best of the best is to collaborate and to resound the significance of the memorial to the world. So if you want in any way to support and of course be a part of what is going on, because this is an historical event, you can go right to their website and make your donations and of course offer whatever you can. And I want to let you know that at Levels TV, we are so honored here in Nigeria to live stream this event. Then you can also watch this event on YouTube. And I'm gonna put the link up here so you can check us out on YouTube, to watch us live on YouTube as well. Okay, so there we go. So before we stream into the live feed, let's go on a break and we'll be right back.
Come on and come all as we're partnered with the George Floyd Memorial Center for the Weekend of Enlightenment. Come share your love and the legacy of George Floyd Jr. Join us on Facebook Live Wednesday, May 18th, 8 p.m. Eastern, as we join forces interviewing powerful leaders that are coming together for this momentous event. From the George Floyd Memorial Center, Executive Director Thomas McLaren, Chief Impact Officer Roger Floyd. Meet our global supporters. You gotta be hungry! Mr. Les Brown, the balanced Dr. Kim Jacobs from the Kim Jacobs Show. Mrs. Ignite and Take Flight, Dr. Lourdes Richard from the Lourdes Richard Ignite Show. Shirley Murphy of Labus TV and Gleam Magazine. Coverage in Nigeria, Africa. And of course, Mary Tulakima, entrepreneur and global engineer expert. Coverage in Perth, Australia. Dr. Tanya Bright, CEO and founder of the world-renowned Top In Magazine. Be sure to catch Dr. Lourdes Richard, Les Brown, and Kim Jacobs as they ignite the stage, joining forces to make this event one you won't forget. Grab your virtual and physical seats for the George Floyd Weekend of Enlightenment today.
All right, welcome back. And then, as I was saying, the George Floyd Weekend of Enlightenment is a phenomenal event organized by the family of George Floyd. And the event is in remembrance of his legacy, is to prepare the world to begin to change the narrative by embracing the positives. Sometimes things happen in our lives, and that's why I am so particularly about this event, and I celebrate the family of George Floyd, who have decided not to be bitter about the entire, scenario or the entire event surrounding the death of their son, but decided to come out positive on the other side, to use this event to help others, to create enlightenment that we have a responsibility to turn our negative emotions, our bitter experiences into positive. And that, I believe, go a very long way to helping so many people to move from their dark side of life into the light. So then again, we'll be joining the live feed now. We're going to go over to the Liz Brown page right now.
God bless you. I was on the elevator the other day and a guy took his mask off to sneeze and I looked at it and said, you know what?
All right. Give me some second.
You don't put that mask on.
I'm working on that now.
I said, God bless you. And I mean, he got on the elevator. And I'm looking at him crazy up in here. You about to make me bye-bye up in here. Up in here. You about to make me act out move. Up in here. Up in here. And so this is a different place that we've never been before. So people need mental resolve. And we've got to be willing to learn different skill sets. If we're not willing to learn, no one can help us. But if we're willing to learn, no one can stop us. And so the Floyd Memorial Center is about having a holistic approach to life and how we show up in each other's lives and standing together. Still in the road we trod, been in the chest to rod, fell in the days when hope unborn and died. Yet with a steady beat have not our weary feet come to the place on which our fathers sighed. We've come over a way that with tears have been watered, with them treading a path through the blood of the slaughter. Someone paid a price for us to be. And so as we put ourselves now in the stand that we take,
hold on,
to make a greater difference in the lives of our children, pushing humanity forward, indicating that it's better. It matters, and everybody else's life matters. But
hold on, trying to get this out.
Come on and come all as we're partnered with the George Floyd Memorial Center for the Weekend of Enlightenment. Come share your love and the legacy of George Floyd Jr. Join us on Facebook Live Wednesday, May 18th, 8 p.m. Eastern, as we join forces interviewing powerful leaders that are coming together for this momentous event. From the George Floyd Memorial Center, Executive Director Thomas McLaren, Chief Impact Officer Roger Floyd. Meet our global supporters. You gotta be hungry! Mr. Les Brown, the balanced Dr. Kim Jacobs from the Kim Jacobs Show. Mrs. Ignite and Take Flight, Dr. Lotus Richey from the Lotus Richey Ignite Show. Shirley Murphy of Labus TV and Gleam Magazine. Coverage in Nigeria, Africa. And of course, Mayor Ray Tulakima, entrepreneur and global engineer expert. Coverage in Perth, Australia. Dr. Tandra Price, CEO and founder of the world-renowned Top In Magazine.
And so I just wanted to see if you would share with the rest of the world, because the world is literally watching. Actually, over 10 million views came in earlier today as they were preparing for this event. To just share with us what inspired you to be one of the partners for the George Floyd Memorial Center endeavor.
You remember when I said earlier, evil prevails when good men and women do nothing?
Yes.
This is a time that we have to take a stand. And we've got to be willing to stay the course. This is not something that's going to go away right away. This is a given. This country was built on not recognizing our humanity. This is a battle that requires stamina. We must be willing to exhaust and outweigh the adversities and the people that oppose us. That's why we're here. That this place, this stand, is to remind people with the affirmation, the Jewish affirmation, never again. You have to have that kind of resolve in order to begin to create the kind of quality of life that we want. You know, Frederick Douglass said, we might not get everything that we fight for, but everything we get, there will be a fight. And we have to do it together. It's not about a singular personality. It's about our standing together, people from all walks of life, people of conscience, working together to create a better world for generations yet unborn. That's why I'm here. I've got 15 grandchildren. And my goal and myself with the Floyd Memorial Center and people who have a conscience to stand up for what they believe in, because they can fall for anything. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
And that's a great story to stick to, Les Brown. And Dr. Lotus, did you have any question for Les Brown as well?
Yes, I did. And if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and bring it up on the screen, because this question is a question that I think so many people around the world may want to ask themselves as well. So, Mr. Brown, as a world-renowned speaker, influencer, and thought leader, why do you think it's so critical to have events focused on enlightenment? Because for so long, we've been in the dark about so much.
It's important because this is the worst of times and the best of times. We're living in a time where being ignorant is a choice.
Right. Yes.
Just this platform that we're using right now, this was not available just a short time ago. There's a reckoning that's going on in the world. And as we use this, not just to entertain and watch old Mike Tyson fights or argue who's the GOAT, Mike Tyson or Muhammad Ali or LeBron or Michael Jordan, and they're amateurs in their own lives. Talking about who's the GOAT, couldn't afford tickets to these sporting events of these icons they're talking about. There's a time that our consciousness needs to be raised from being a culture of entertainment to a culture of empowerment, of enlightenment, of understanding that things aren't going to change unless we change. Nothing's going to work unless we work. Something that Mary McLeod Bethune said that I adhered to. She said, pray as if everything depends upon God, and work as if everything depends upon you. In order for this to change, we got to do exactly what we're doing right now. We got to be willing to put in the work. When will it change? We don't know. When will a baby walk? It will walk when it walks. When will it talk? It will talk when it talks, and some talk sooner than others. But what we must do is stay the course, be persistent, be willing to persevere. Even a broke clock is right twice a day. I'm gonna just wait for that one to sink in. Thank you very much. Any other question, please?
At this point, that, you know what, you did let it sink in. Thank you for letting it sink in. A lot of people were digesting what you were saying, so hundreds of comments are coming in. Keep your comments flooding. I will let you know that Les Brown does take personal time to go back and review your comments. So make sure that you just encourage him and flood those comments in. And Les, I know that you have some things happening throughout this evening, and you are an extremely busy man because I know your schedule. I'm one of the directors of operations. I'm the director of operations here, so I know what he has going on so much, right? But let me tell you, you may also have a question that you want to ask someone here as well, or anybody on the panel. So let me give you the chance to ask your own question of the panel.
Yeah. I'd like to know, what do you see as the primary objective of the Floyd Memorial Center?
I'd love to jump in right now. So glad that you're here, sir. Enjoyed your inspirational word. Powerful. Powerful. Absolutely. It's almost as if you've already been in our camp,
Oh,
because the words that you speak are so eloquent. It tells the story of what we will accomplish. We are going to be the change that we seek. That's our goal. But what we are doing is so much bigger than all of us. We feel wholeheartedly, we know from the depths of our soul that this is godly ordained. We're just going to be the vessels through his words to get the message out. That's the goal of the Joyce Floyd Memorial Center. We want to be a bridge to make that difference. It's not about Roger Floyd. It's not about Thomas McLaurin. It's not about the Floyd family per se, but we want to be a conduit to make that difference. How do we impact the lives of others? Because we know if we're successful in doing that, God is going to abundantly bless us as a family, because we are doing his will to make that difference. How do you pursue a mission where you help the underserved? You touch base with those individuals that have the resources to do so. We strive to collaborate, partner with those individuals of like minds and hearts, because we realize in our vetting process how when we come in contact with individuals, like the ladies in particular on this call, how they have reached out to us and say, we want to be a part of what you're doing. We want to help promote this cause because it is truly bigger than all of us. And that's what we endowed to do. Not just the week in enlightenment, not just the month of May, when George lost his life, May 25th, 2020. It was a devastating time for me personally and our family. And we saw exactly how this rogue police officer, right before our eyes, took his life. And as a family, we came together and we said, we have got to do something. We have got to make a difference. We got to uphold George's legacy. How do we do that? We do it one day at a time. We have our next steps. We're going to have this all year long, each year, year in, year out, because we're going to keep his name alive. If George was here today, he would say, I would rather be here than where I am. As my grandniece said so eloquently, my daddy changed the world, but yet he would rather be here with us. And since he's not, we have to step in to make that difference. When we collaborate with others to come together of like minds, we want to know what is in the core of your being. This is a heart mission every day. And we are absolutely unequivocally passionate about what we're doing. And we're going to move forward because we know some will, some won't. And I don't say this negatively, but so what? We're going to get with the individuals of like mind, of like spirit, that want to move the needle forward to make that difference. As you are, Brother Les, 77, I'm on your heels. I'm 70 years old, and this is my goal. We both are in the fourth quarter right now, but that doesn't stop us from doing what we need to do because the passion is there. And we're going to continue to collaborate, partner with those individuals of the same mindset to make that difference. That's the goal. That's what the George Floyd Memorial Center is all about. That's what we're all about.
Wow.
Roger,
Okay.
I wanted to piggyback on what Roger just said, which is so very important, and that this is hard work and heart work. It's HARD and HEART.
Mm. Mm.
Okay, and so part of what this moment, it's a God moment. All things work together for good for those who love God, for those who call it according to his purpose. Then say all things will be good. Then say every day will be a good day, but there's some good in every day. 3,000 people perish on the Titanic, so millions of people would live. When you think about right now, where the Floyd Memorial Center is, if I ask all of you, and I bet you couldn't tell me, who's the president of NAACP? You don't know, the majority of you, but you knew when Benjamin Hooks was there. Who's the president of the Urban League? You don't know, just a few of you, but you knew when Vernon Jordan was there. There's a vacuum. And so what the Floyd Memorial Center will be doing is developing leaders that can communicate a message and speak to the world and create transformative experiences like this to begin to tap the minds and the hearts of people to make decisions about what kind of world we want to live in. And we make decisions, and our decisions make us. So this decision to start the Floyd Memorial Center has said his leaving here, his death will not be in vain. This decision, this will be the catalyst to create something enormous that will go beyond us. As Leo Tolstoy said, he says, as I face inevitable death, what is the meaning and purpose of my life that will not be undone or destroyed when I'm gone? This movement created by the Floyd Memorial Center will not be undone or destroyed even after we are gone. And I got to for this special broadcast today. I hope y'all know this.
Well, your haircut looks marvelous, Les. But I will tell you your age, and I'm only allowed to say this because you're like a spiritual father to me too. So it's the George Floyd Memorial Center. Because if I don't tell you that, you're gonna be like, "Nah, no, you didn't let me go through that good broadcast."
Yes, I do apologize. When you get 77, you miss a few things up in here.
I know you're gonna fuss at me if I didn't say that, so I might as well go on and say it now.
Look at Kim. I was talking to my son the other day, and he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm looking for my phone." He said, "You're on your phone." I said, "I knew it. I wish you were here. I'll sucker punch you right now."
I love it.
Turned 77, Roger. Oh my God! Look at
message across our airways. We do about 10 million people, 10 million people a month. And so I'd like to see what we could do about showcasing your organizations. Where do we do with the communication, getting this message out across the globe? Because most people in North America, the average age is 25. The average age in Europe is 22, 23, and the average age in Africa is 15. How do we get this message?
Glad you asked that question, because most people don't give the kind of thought that you're expressing about how do we communicate the message. A message has no power in and of itself. You have to take in who's going to hear this message. What gave me an advantage to break through in the speaking industry has been governed by the Dale Carnegie course. They teach, tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you told them. I train the speakers that I train, never let what you want to say until you find out what the people need that you're going to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
And all that get understanding. So that we can, when we speak, when you have an event, the programming you provide, what you tune into, you turn into. What we do when we speak, we distract, dispute, and inspire. How people live their lives is a result of the story they believe about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
What the George Floyd Memorial Center will do is create leaders that will be able to interweave about ourselves, distract, dispute, and through the presentation, create an experience. If information could change people across this country, that will expand people's minds, touch their hearts because we're emotional people, and ignite their spirit to become actively engaged and making a difference rather than just being a spectator. After the speech of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., there was a speech given by a rabbi that I thought was more important than Dr. King's I Have a Dream. He said, when something happens, there are three things. There's a perpetrator, there are the victims, and there are the witnesses. And he said, which is most condemning? And he said, the witnesses, just like those four cops at any time, they could have intervened. They were witnesses to a murder. And he said, Lord, please don't let our country become a country of witnesses. We're going to live our lives like Horace Mann said, we should be ashamed to die until we have made some major contribution to humankind. And the George Floyd Memorial Center will make a major contribution for generations yet.
Key points that when we came together, Thomas and I, to put down the basic thought behind of what it is that we would like to aspire to do, regardless, we are going to be intentional about what we do. What we do will complement transparency.
Mm-hmm.
And above all, no matter what, we will never allow anyone to derail the direction that we are pursuing. Why? Because we're going to do it with utmost integrity.
Mm-hmm.
And you watch Please watch the consistency that we have a goal to pursue. We need your help. We need your engagement. We need your support. But we're going to lead the way.
Mm-hmm.
We were neophytes several months ago, but we're in the big leagues now because of the support that we're fostering each and every day. And you can't do it sitting down.
That's right.
You can't do it once a year. This is a fight
Every day.
every single day.
Every day.
Every waking moment that we have to make that difference. That's the goal. That's the mission. That's our core value in how we pursue these initiatives. We are going to work. We're going to light that candle, and we are going to do the work each and every day. That's the goal.
And if you all do make note of it on GeorgeFloydMC.org, you will actually be able to, once you visit that site, and we put the link in the comment section, you'll be able to see the events that's happening coming up on May 27th and May 28th. Dr. Lotus Verche is going to talk more about those events. But if you visit the website, you'll see all of those events, as well as learn about past events that's been happening with the organization already, the George Floyd Memorial Center. You'll get to meet some of the leaders that's on the team and their board of director members as well. If you click there on board of directors, you'll get to personally learn about each of their board members that are taking time from their schedules to be a part of the George Floyd Memorial Center. So quite a few people are being a part of this organization and really committed. All levels of diversity are included here to be able to be committed to this project.
Exactly. And as you can see, you have many people from various different backgrounds that are here. And this is one of the ways that I came on board with the blackowned.com. And we came to a meeting with Mr. Roger and Mr. Thomas, and
I think we're having a little technical issue right there, but we'll connect back soon. So, but before we do so, let's go on a break and we'll be right back.
Come on and come all as we're partnered with the George Floyd Memorial Center for the Weekend of Enlightenment. Come share your love and the legacy of George Floyd Jr. Join us on Facebook Live Wednesday, May 18th, 8 p.m. Eastern, as we join forces interviewing powerful leaders that are coming together for this momentous event. From the George Floyd Memorial Center, Executive Director Thomas McLaren, Chief Impact Officer Roger Floyd. Meet our global supporters. You gotta be hungry, Mr. Les Brown, the
balance Dr. Kim Jacobs from the Kim Jacobs Show. Mrs. Ignite and Take Flight, Dr. Lotus Richey from the Lotus Richey Ignite Show. Shirley Murphy of Labus TV and Glee Magazine. Coverage in Nigeria, Africa. And of course, Mary Tulakima, entrepreneur and global engineer expert. Coverage in Perth, Australia. Dr. Tanya Price, CEO and founder of the world-renowned Top End Magazine. Be sure to catch Dr. Lotus Richey, Les Brown, and Kim Jacobs as they ignite the stage, joining forces to make this event one you won't forget. Grab your virtual and physical seats for the George Floyd Weekend of Enlightenment today.
All right, welcome back. So, the George Floyd Weekend of Enlightenment event is going to be phenomenal. And this is a program that will be continuing to thrive in communities and, of course, to help support people, encourage political engagement, resulting in healthy and, of course, socially inclusive relationships in communities and, of course, the world at large. And I celebrate the family of George Floyd for being the change advocate. In fact, being, just like Liz Brown said, for being the change that we all want to see. We need to start, from us. The change must start from us. Be the change that we want to see and begin to make positive impact in our world. And of course, that change, that move must start from us, from the community where we find ourselves, from our families, and of course, then go into the society and make the renowned change. Because the positive world that we are, clamoring about must start from us. We must be positive in every area, and that's why I celebrate, the family once again for coming up or putting up with this initiative to help change the world from what it used to be, the negative that people have always known, the world to be, and of course handling issues, especially when it comes to dirt, seeing themselves as victims, but rather here the family have decided to become vessels of transformation. So I celebrate them once again. Okay, so now let's see if the connection is back so we can continue. Okay, so.
Yes, we're partnered with the George Floyd Memorial Center for the Weekend of Enlightenment. Come share your love and the legacy of George Floyd Jr. Join us on Facebook Live Wednesday, May 18th, 8 p.m. Eastern, as we join forces interviewing powerful leaders that are coming together for this momentous event. From the George Floyd Memorial Center, Executive Director Thomas McLaren, Chief Impact Officer Roger Floyd. Meet our global supporters. You gotta be hungry! Mr. Les Brown, the balanced Dr. Kim Jacobs from the Kim Jacobs Show, Mrs. Ignite and Take Flight, Dr. Lotus Richey from the Lotus Richey Ignite Show, Shirley Murphy of Labus TV and Gleam Magazine, coverage in Nigeria, Africa, and of course, Mayor Ray Tulakima, entrepreneur and global engineer expert, coverage in Perth, Australia, Dr. Tanya Price, CEO and founder of the world-renowned Top In Magazine. Be sure to catch Dr. Lotus Richey, Les Brown, and Kim Jacobs as they ignite the stage, joining forces to make this event one you won't forget. Grab your virtual and physical seats for the George Floyd Weekend of Enlightenment today.
Like, hey, I'm in control of this broadcast, and I say, stop it right now.
We actually saw real life, and that was trauma. And when we found out that that was our blood, I mean, that just took us to a deep place. But we met as a family, and we said, we've got to do something. We've got to be transformative, and that transformation has to start with us. And that's where it started. We said we would change what we see. And so it had us. We could have been bitter. We could just complaining about, oh, it's me, woe is me, and all that stuff. But we know that there are a lot more who have suffered at the hands of not only the police, but just the society and just world evil. And in order to do something about it, we said we've got to be about it. And that's how the George Floyd Memorial Center came about.
Wow. That is an incredible backstory, and that's something that we benefited from knowing now how you are part of the Floyd family. And one of the questions that we wanted to also ask you all is to tell us overall about this empowerment weekend and how it came about, and who we've talked about we haven't talked about all of the supporters. We talked about Les Brown in particular. But if any of you all could let everyone else that's watching today know, who are some of the supporters and some of the partners in this initiative?
Okay, well, I'll jump in there on that. First and foremost, the Weekend of Enlightenment came because, as you know, the 20th of May is the anniversary. And last year, we dubbed May 25th as the Day of Enlightenment. And so as we were creating opportunities for people to engage with us, we said, you know, it's got to be more than just a day. And so we wanted to create the Weekend of Enlightenment. And so we have reached out to several entities such as Duke Energy, one of ours, Red Ventures out of Charlotte, North Carolina, a partner with us. And as far as down in Atlanta, Georgia, we have several there who have reached out. One of my former college football teammates actually is the president of Alliance Plastic Company, which is, you know, up and down the East Coast. And he said, yes, I definitely want to do what I can do. We'll help you from our Atlanta office as well as our North Carolina office. And then we've partnered with some other entities such as St. Augustine's University. We are working with them to not only help facilitate what we want to do as far as classes and programs, but we're bringing light to that college. And so everything that we can do to help facilitate change, help facilitate pushing the initiative forward of going from perpetual trauma to transformation, that's what we're about. Wow. And Roger, if you want to jump in.
And we're going to also engage in some fun activities as well, but still sharing the message every opportunity we get.